perhaps it shocked the guy that made the question.
Mr. Keating's visit had a dual purpose: to educate the Japanese on the progress in the Australian economy.
I believe in this time, this period in Australia's history will come to be seen as an economic watershed. In fact, as we enter our third century, Australia is on the threshold of an economic transformation unparalleled in our history.
And to convince them that their investment billions are welcome in Australia.
We regard Japanese investment in Australia entirely favourably, and no less so for investment in real estate.
But behind that apparent unquestioning enthusiasm for Japanese money is an issue of great delicacy for Australian-Japanese relations in the long and short term. The immediate problem is real estate. The Japanese want it, we seem to have plenty of it, and in terms of yen, at bargain prices. Japanese interest in Australian real estate is entirely understandable, because for most, their own is completely out of reach. Apartments in this block behind me, for instance, are very modest by Australian standards, but they sell for well over $1 million each. And this, an unspectacular garden bungalow in Sydney or Melbourne, is worth $15 million. Already there's anecdotal evidence that Japanese buyers are bypassing the government's ban on foreign purchases of existing houses and flats introduced last September.
Well, I know definitely from various people who are still buying real estate in Australia that there are ways around the regulations.
What are they?
Well, one is to establish a company in Australia and buy through that company. And the second one, which you can't do anything about, of course, is for relatives or friends to buy on your behalf.
Mr. Keating told the World Tonight that he'll be checking if that's so.
If some of the anecdotes are correct, then it's probably worth looking again.
It's not just price which is attracting the Japanese to Australia. Holidays down under provide escape from an environment which has certainly not benefited from Japan's industrial miracle. But what do the Japanese really think of us, and are they interested in investing in much else apart from our real estate and tourist resorts? This is the view of one Australian who has had 3 years' experience at a senior level in Tokyo.
They judge us, I think, to some extent as a little bit lazy and not working hard enough, and that God has been good to us, we haven't been good to ourselves.
So, do you see tourism as the outstandingly best opportunity we have to attract Japanese money to the country?
Yes, I do.
So are we destined then to be a land of waiters and cooks for the Japanese?
To some extent, unfortunately, yes. That's the sad part about it.
Last week, Mr. Keating was inviting the Japanese to come on down, with few questions asked. But when reviewing his trip at week's end, it was clear he has a longer-term private agenda, which takes account of the dangers of Japanese investment as well as its potential benefits.
They have toiled long and hard and without a lot of domestic comfort to build a secure place in the trading world. But there's got